unfortunately, we're coming to that crossroad here, and we're going to talk about a few real important things here that, yes, a lot of crypto, but also a lot of other things that I find that are very, very important. And just in our journey through the economic landscape here, it's going to be very beneficial for everybody who's watching as well. I had to shut my blinds behind me because let's just say they're doing stuff in the skies today, and it makes it very hazy behind us. So it makes it hard to see. It makes it like this grayish overtone. I can't explain it. I don't want you guys to have to look into it. It looked like I was looking into like I don't even know how to explain it. But let me say hi to everybody as they come in, and then I'll get into what I want to get into a real deep discussion here this evening. Because we've been warning, we've been talking about things. We even had a chance where we took a shot, but we had the sell points. There was like a 1% shot with XCN and some others that fell through. Had to sell those. The only thing that I hold on to religiously, and some of you should know, XRP, XRP Healthcare, DGB, and Exxon. That's basically my exception to the rule here, because there's something that I believe in a little bit deeper. But we'll get into all of this. But there's so many things I need to talk about with everybody as far as how I play this system, the three things that I always bet against, and the three reasons why I can come out ahead more times than not. And it's because of the three principles that I play on and the three things that I've bet against since 2018. And it's completely transformed the way that my fundamental setup is. It's changed my life. And it's why all of us are together today. So, and once my website is up and running out of beta, I'm going to be able to do lives on there where I am not censored. It will be uncensored. So we'll go through everything. YouTube will still be my home for crypto, but everything else, and then maybe a little crypto, can all be summed up on that very platform. So we're getting there. We're getting there faster than most of you realize, where this is about to explode in a whole new area. I was shocked today because for the last week, we were at about 43,400 subscribers. I think I lost like 3 subscribers in a matter of 4 or 5 days. And then all of a sudden, the last 2 days, bam, bam, because the market seemed solid, got up to like, shot up like 500 subscribers. Today slowed down a little bit, but it's just amazing the amount of people that will come in with any signs of good news and how quickly they'll leave on the first sign that things are not exactly going how they should. But I'm going to show you compelling reasons even why you shouldn't be fearful right now, why you should not be afraid, and why it looks bad, but technically it's not as bad as it could, because we could literally hit some turmoil here, and that's why I put the title right now is XRP. It's not as bad as it seems, but could hit turmoil. Don't overlook mining stocks, please. And I've begged since, I don't even know how long now. And now they've gone up, I don't know how much. But I'm begging you, don't overlook mining stocks. If and when silver finally materializes, holds this $36 mark, and then starts pushing 39 and 50, I'm going to show you a very, very, very compelling reason why that. And this isn't just me who can see this, but I know it's true. And we've got ourselves a symmetrical wedge that gold is playing in right now. And it's tightening up right now at the last part, which technically in a symmetrical wedge, it's going to break in the direction it's been going. And gold's been going up. If that's the case, silver's already telling us gold should continue going up by breaking out. But there's so much good going on and so many distractions outside of it to where, oh my goodness, is there so many opportunities that you might not see when you're just looking on my crypto screen. It's all up here. And you can even see one that I've added for the masses. It's one I don't usually talk about, but being the world's largest silver producer, in the last week and a half or so, I finished up my allotment when we had the drop. And actually it was about 2.5 weeks. But I finished up my allotment today when it finally dropped under $6 again. I wanted to get the last 100 shares to get me up to I have 1,002 shares now of Hecla Mining. And to put it in perspective for any of you who don't know, they've been around since 1896. They're the USA's largest single miner of silver. So they're the USA's largest producer of silver. What kind of market are we looking at having the biggest bull run that we've seen since? Oh, it's been a while. But it doesn't even need to be the biggest bull run. Just the fact that we're surging finally over these levels for the first time in a long time. You want to have some exposure to the world's largest, or the USA's largest silver producer. Just a fine tip from me to you. I'm not telling you to buy it now at all. I wanted to bring it up a couple weeks ago when I finally finished it. What I wanted to do. And I figured, hey, it's been in a nice sideways consolidation for the better part of, and it's given me a long time. I'm not going to lie. It was only ranging right now between $9 and $9.43, and then down to about $3.46. So right now at $5.99, you're still in the middle. It took me quite some time to fill this one up, though. It was back here, and then I had to watch it go up. But every time it did this, and then it came back down, I bought a little here. Then I felt stupid because it went up, and then I bought more, and then I felt stupid. Then I bought more, then I felt stupid. Because every time I bought it, it would just come back down. So now I finally said to hell with it. I'm building my own mining portfolio. And right now it consists of Barrett Mining, B2 Gold, Pan America Silver, First Majestic Silver, Fortuna Silver Mines, and Hecla Mining. And I would put that up against anybody's. The only thing I'm missing out here, and I feel like a dick, because I used to own it, and old Vincenzo owns it, is Kinross. And if I wanted to expand this into a more legitimate, my own ETF, so to say, my own mining portfolio, I would also have Wheaton Precious Metals, but it's a little outside of where I like to buy them. But anyhow, I don't want to lose everybody because most people are just going to leave their mining stock. I'm out of here. But let me say hi to everybody. Point in case we went from 86 to 75, right when I started talking about miners. But hey, it's the most secret bull market you're ever going to see. Meatball, welcome in. Crazy Paul, Jorge, thank you both for being in Times for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. And Jorge, thanks for being a very trusted mod. Says, hello, people. Hello, Tom. Everyone hit that like button to get this information out there. And consider subscribing to Tom's channel for the best technical analysis on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that, my friend. Areli, welcome in. Defined Group, good evening. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XP Meteor. Moza here, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Justy says, good evening, Mr. Michigan. I seen somebody say they need sunny days. We're going to have sunny days at the end of this live, I guarantee it. James Dula, welcome in, says, let's go deep, rubber gloves on. Oh, it's going to be like a proctology exam here. We're going deep. You know, you're going deep. But thank you, Mr. Dula, for being in Towns for 3+ months with the XP Meteor, along with the Fine Group, Crypto Cooter, Frankie Fresh, all in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XP Meteor. I really appreciate that to my friends. Jesse, good evening for the second time. John Hall, welcome in. Good evening, brother. And you are welcome. Thank you for continuing to support my channel by simply being here. And I presume you hit the like button. You know how I love that like button. Don't make me do crazy eyes because I can't see out of my left eye. So I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but it likes to wander on its own sometimes. It's not exactly sure what to focus on. John Patak, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. The Trinity indeed. Well, we're going to get to the 3 reasons, the 3 things I bet against, I promise you. But I like to say hello to everybody, and then we see who wants to be here. Summit Pro, welcome in. I really appreciate you continuing to show me the support. Let's see. Sola Jeffy, good evening. Mark Casson, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Oliver Marks, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. Frankie Fresh, yes, B2 Gold is a beautiful one. B says it's not as bad as it seems because it's always bad. Correct! And it could get intuitively worse. That's why I said turmoil could hit, but you already know where I think it's going to be. In my darkest, what I think is going to happen, unfortunately, is we're probably going to hit that fair value gap at some point. The 229 was a major reason to hold, and it didn't. 220, 5 area. But more importantly, we're getting down to that very nitty gritty mark here of $2 and, oh, we're there. We're there. Oh, Bessie. Hold on to, as Tommy Pickles once said in the early 90s, hold on to your diapers, baby. You know, it's going to get pretty intense around these parts. I didn't say the last part, but he said the beginning. So, the other reason I know it was getting bad is our inverse miles indicator was just, he came on last night and a little bit earlier too, and emergency buy for XRP. I'm like, oh shit. That's there's our real hitter right there. So the inverse miles indicator was 1/3 charts, 2/3 miles. We bet against what he said. And it did us very well in 2022 when we were in a bear market. Literally, the inverse miles indicator, we did it for Doge, and everything he said to do, we did the opposite. Oh my God, I had one of my best years of all time. Well, in a swing trading market, of course. But we were just having good fun. And Miles, if you're watching, I actually do like what you do. Might want to stay away from the, you know, might want to stay away from that because it's getting me a little bit. But anyhow, let's get back to business. Robbie Klauser, welcome. And which mining stocks to get? Well, I can only speak from my own experience, what I like. But my A1 is B2 Gold and Barrick Gold for the gold mining stocks. Kinross is too much now. It's already at an extreme move. And the cheapest way to get the gold out of the ground right now is the miners, the gold mining stocks. And the reason I like B2 Gold the most out of the gold miners, one, because it hasn't done shit for 4 years. Basically, 2, it pays the highest dividend out of all of these. But 3, this year and last year, it produced the most silver it ever has. It outproduced its gold production with silver. So that's a big deal to me. That's a big deal to me. So, and then for silver, I love Pan America Silver. First Majestic and Pan America Silver just had acquisitions. So it made their books thrown off a little bit. But I'm telling you, I wish you would have asked me this a couple weeks ago. Because we bought more and reassured ourselves with Pan America Silver at just over $21 a share a couple weeks ago. So it's already went up by over 25%. And First Majestic was just at like, I'm not even kidding, it was at $5.25 like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks ago now. Same with Fortuna, but all of these I love. Hecla Mining I'm talking about more now because I don't know why I never would talk about it before, but they're the single largest producer of silver in the USA, and they've been around since 1896. They're not going anywhere. So let's get back to business. Which this is business. This is real business. Crypto Plumber 589, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Finally off and baking on the way home with the XRP fam. Excellent. You be safe on that drive. And I appreciate you joining Tom's Army this month in particular. It's been a very slow month, you know, with people, and I understand it because it's been a weird month. Weird year. But I appreciate that support. I really, really do in this turmoil. Jennifer Kupiak, one of my favorites in the house. I love it. I'm so blessed that you're still here. I didn't think I seen your brother's name, but I hope he's doing good as well. I hope the Kupiaks are doing good. And I hope the animals are doing good. Okay, my love. You got everything you need? Okay, I love you. But I'm glad you're in here, Jennifer. Thank you so much for tuning in. Marco, Tremley, and Aaron R., thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor. Do you use Fidelity to purchase your mining stocks? I do not use Fidelity, but I do have, believe it or not, speaking of Fidelity, I have 2 mutual funds through Fidelity that pay monthly dividends. They're in the emerging markets. One of 3 things I do, bet against the USA. Remember, I said there's 3 things that I do that put me ahead. 1 is betting against the USA. That is not part of my second point. There's 2 different distinctions when it comes to the USA. I bet against the USA. That's a big one. So we'll get to the next soon. But I use JP Morgan, not their brokerage, their I have my self-directed portfolio, and I have a traditional, I have an IRA so you can write off $7,000 a year right now for my age group. And I use that to buy my emerging markets. I started that fund last year. So I have 14,000 the last year and this year. Now I've already done my contributions. And then I have my self-directed, but they're both through JP Morgan. I do it myself. I'm not paying somebody. Because what I do is I'm my own financial advisor. Nobody else is. I'm my own economist. If you wanted to label me, people would probably call me an economist, but I don't. But I have Fidelity for those two emerging markets. I have Vanguard for the other two. And honestly, I like Vanguard because a lot of people are like, oh, well, Vanguard and this and that. They own 85% of the world's. No. They might have it in their portfolio with mutual funds, and it might put them in that category. But the individual actually owns the mutual fund. But it's all of us putting in together to own the rights to all of the different things they own. And I'm going to bet on the fact that in the emerging markets, Vanguard's not going broke, and Fidelity's not going broke. They have lower costs for somebody to manage it because somebody's still managing it. So you have to pay like some small percentage when you make the purchase. But no, I use the JP Morgan trading app because I know JP Morgan's not going anywhere because, well, let's face it, they're part of the elite. So I tend to bet on and use the financial stuff that I know will be here long term. Let's see. Art Mason, welcome in. Bought more XRP at 217. Ballsy individual we got here. Be straight up with everybody. If I already held XRP, and I'm not doing this to begin with, but if I was going to buy more XRP, you couldn't pay me enough before $1.50. You couldn't pay me enough because there's a fair value gap at $1.50. And before we get even realer, good evening. 6:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, June 12th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XM and Future Digibite OG. And I reside in the great state of Michigan. Some would say today was decision day. And oh, did we come up short on our decision. XRP had a chance at $2.29. It had another chance at $2.22 at the midway fair value gap of the day. And we fell below it. So we've got a lot of stuff to discuss. Papa Wheelie, welcome in. Thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Joseph Euler, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for 3+ months with the XRP Meteor, and also sending a $10 donation, which is your 20th super on a live stream. Unbelievably awesome. What a very generous individual you are. I really appreciate it. When I was looking at my analytics, my revenue this month is, well, I mean, it's not the lowest, but it's definitely in shambles. Let's see. Kyle Kupiak, welcome in Cape Cod. Kyle, I really appreciate you being in Tom's Army for over 1 year at the I Told You So badge from Massachusetts. And it's showing it for 1 year today. I love it. Over 1 year. McMichael, thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. So very awesome. I really appreciate everybody for the support. And now we can get into the nitty-gritty here. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty about some things that I had brought up in the beginning. I know some of you know. The 3 things that I bet against, and some heart-to-heart we're going to have about crypto and some other things here. Because I really think we all believe it's just, this is it. There's nothing else that we need to do. It's only one set of rules, but I can give you 5 different things that'll create a life of abundance for you, and then you won't even need me. You'll need me in a sense, but you really won't need me if you do these 5 things. But I think we are almost set. I think I said hello to everybody. Zachary Clark, welcome, and have no fear. Zach is here. Thanks for keeping it real, Tommy. You're welcome, my friend. I have no fear now. Zach is here. So the 3 things that I bet against first, before we go any farther, now that it's been 18 minutes. 1, the U.S. government. 2, the U.S. dollar. Hence the emerging markets. Hence my gold and silver holding. Hence mining stocks because they pull it out of the ground. What's 3? My peers. I bet against my peers. And that might sound mean, But I know most of my peers are stuck fighting over the right and the left. And once I hear you fight over either side, you're part of the 99er. The 99er that I don't want to be involved in that discussion. I want people that understand who's in control of the world. I want to have a discussion with people who understand what the agenda is. And numeral 3, I want people that understand that where I live is a corporation. And I'm not going to say where I live, but I live in, well, you know where I live. I'm in Michigan. So what country am I in? So when you start to understand the way the dominoes fall, and I have to speak in code because I don't want to get banned, you start to understand what's really going on here. 1, the government's telling you to buy crypto. Has it not started going down ever since that happened? 2, they're telling you they're going to de-dollarize the dollar before they started de-dollarizing it. 3, they're telling you they want negative interest rates. 4, they're telling you they want quantitative easing. And 5, we don't know how to identify anymore. That's like the 5 horsemen right there. So what do? 1, you bet against the US dollar by buying gold and silver. It's so simple. It's so simple. Like the commercial said, it's so simple even a caveman can do it. And it's the truth. It's not currency. You're buying money. The only way to get around if the dollar is devalued and get proper value, even if you own crypto, and this is the untold truth, this is why it can't be. It can't be. It won't be. It could never be a store of value like gold and silver. It could never be real money. It couldn't. Because no matter what the US dollar's price is, when you sell that crypto, I can't sell it. I mean, I could technically buy a bar of gold and silver, but it's going to be based on the dollar amount of where I live. So it's in the USA. So if the dollar gets devalued, the gold and silver is going way up. The only way to maintain your dollar value is to have the precious metal. I love crypto like the next. I freaking love it. I've done this every single day with the same passion. Maybe not as much on some days, but the same passion I show you today is more than I showed you on my very first day on March 24th of 2021. I am only honored that 43,900 people are subscribed now. And that some of you still have the nerve to watch me, because a lot of people don't after they subscribe. It's a fact. It's a fact. I tittle some feathers, I say something somebody doesn't want to know, and then they're gone. But then they come back when it starts to set in a year or 2 years later. It's happened over and over, and that's a blessing. But we're in a strange, it's almost like a cult-like setting here. Everybody is so laser focused on this one thing. How is it possible that one entity now, and Michael, I just listened to his whole Jordan, listen, when I say I try to listen to all of these schlubs, and that Jordan Peterson is not a schlub, but Michael Saylor, he's not a schlub either. Like, this is what I try to tell everybody. Maybe how he's trying to get everybody to buy Bitcoin way up here, and it's gold, it's the next gold. The guy had a great idea. He had a great understanding of why he needed to do what he did. And his argument, it works for him. But for us in retail to say, oh, we need to buy Bitcoin at 106,000 because it's going to 1 million, you might as well just put your head through the wall right now if that's where we're going. Because in that event, even if, let's just say Bitcoin went to 1 million. Where do you think some of these ISO and if Bitcoin got to 1 million, you really think the ISO and IoT tokens wouldn't tap dance and teabag everybody on the way up? The ISO and IoT tokens would literally teabag the entire crypto space on the way up. They would look at meme tokens. They wouldn't even give them justification. They would just keep on going. And that's where we're getting to if we're going to go like that with Bitcoin. My problem is, like I've said from the beginning, this don't feel right. It doesn't smell right. It's not acting right. In fact, the volume isn't even solidifying what they're trying to tell us. I don't understand what the hell is going on except for one thing. They're lying to us. The only possible scenario that's happening here is we're being led to slaughter. And the more people they slaughter, the easiest they can do quantitative easing, the easiest they can come in. Just think about it as a whole. If we're all led to slaughter, even in risk assets, and nobody holds precious metals, everybody thinks mining stocks are a freaking joke. 95% of my audience won't even. So, when you start understanding that, the easiest way to slit us is to use us as the bait. Then they're going to be able to talk us very easily into, oh my God, we're all broke. We can't have interest rates this high. By God, we got to lower it to negative interest rates. And the people, yeah, oh my God, negative interest rates. This is awesome. Awesome. All the hard-earned money you've worked for that's sitting in the bank, you have to pay them to let it sit there. Do you know my grandpa who came over from Italy, who passed away in 2001, God rest his soul? He had 20% plus was his interest in the bank. Do you know how he bought his house? With the money that he saved and got 20% on, of course. And now we're sitting here banging the frickin' table down for negative interest rates. Come on, Bill. Oh, you want some food, don't you, buddy? Okay. And I also know a couple other things to be true. One, most people, even when the opportunity is sitting in front of them, even if they've met the exact fate that they've been asking for, they've been begging for a certain person to come into their space, a certain person to teach them a certain thing, or certain wisdom to be bestowed upon them. When it happens, they walk out the door because it's too scary. I am that person for 99% of you that you've been begging for. I don't want anything. I put out my own history for everybody. I don't charge for anything. And I come on here and I'm being honest. What? Oh. Did you call me, Julie? Oh, nope, she's talking to my son. And not just me, it's the community. You've got a community here that understands what I understand for the most part. And we see the same things. We understand. I'm telling you right now, though, this is not right. These are not how bull markets respond right now. It's not. And we very well might get this big surge of volume. But right now, we're still trying to fight out of a bull market. That's all I want everybody to understand. But this is actually not horrible. Like, if we pull this out, yeah, sure, we could say that that's almost like a wedge formed. But couldn't you say that's almost like symmetrically formed as well? So it's not as bad as it could be yet. But if it loses this uptrend and then ultimately validates it by getting below here, oh, buddy. You don't want old buddy. Old buddy will target $1.50. Well, obviously have to stop at $1.98, but old buddy is not what you want to hear. You don't want to hear old buddy. You want to bounce off of this point. But then when you start to break it down, you can be like, well, Tom, I understand you want to show the uptrend, but what about the rest? Well, I mean, you asked. If you want the rest, doesn't that reinforce if we break through right down to that FVG? So you asked. I didn't ask. In fact, I defended not showing it, but since you guys asked, I have to show it. And sometimes, you know, I know you're asking without asking, so I'm going to show you. So, like George Carlin once said, it's all what is it? It's all one big club, and you and I ain't invited. So, whether you're sitting in your chair saying, oh man, Tom is on the in, look what he knows. I'm less in the in than you are. I may have 43,900 subscribers, but 99.999% of crypto YouTuber or YouTube scrollers have no freaking clue who I am, or you, or anybody else. When I walk up and down the street, not a single person knows me, and that's the way I'd like to keep it. You know, so I'm just some guy who figured it out a long time ago, and I've been trying to say my piece since I was 11 years old. And nobody listened to me when I was 11, and I would scream at my mom from the bottom of the stairs. And some of you know it to be true because you were in the audience when my mom was here and explained it to you that I was not lying. That was in 2023 when she's like, no, that really happened. I'm like, Mom, and that's what happened. And I said, 25 years from now, oh, what do I care about 25 years from now? I'm like, that's the problem. Nobody cares. And now here we are, 30 years later, and oh boy, it's worse than I could have imagined. Because now we got a bunch of people who think they know what's going on, and they're the same people who didn't know what was going on, and they still don't know what's going on. They only know what they... Anyhow, back to crypto. What we can do together is make sure that we don't fall victim to all of this. You know? And then people are like, well, you're XRP future millionaire. Why should I listen to you? Don't we all want to be future millionaires? XRP future millionaire. That doesn't mean the whole shit and caboodle. But that means this is our driving force. This is the sole focus that makes it happen, because we can turn it into so much more based on what we've gotten, the abundance from XRP. It's been a very abundant couple of years for us with XRP. Not the ones who have long held it. The ones who understood market cycles, it's been very abundant. For others, you know, we are just who we are. If anything, I'm here every single day, so good or bad. It's not horrible, it looks good. Not so bad, Zoli. Hallowed Nation, thank you so much for the 3 months. And Tom's Army said, if this has been covered, any idea how Circle USDC on ROUSD ledger? It's been a very long day. I have no idea what you just said. Any idea how Circle USDC on how to use it on the ROUSD ledger? I don't even know if you can. Can you use Circle USD? I don't know. I have not done a deep dive on ROUSD because it is what it is to me. It's a stable coin, and that's it. And transaction volume, yes, it'll send it up, and that's likely what had the price of XRP having a little volatility at the right time. Cat, interest rates need to lower for mortgages and credit, though. Why? How do you think we got the overvalued pricing of the houses? No, it needs it. The housing, I'm just being honest with you guys. If I was in charge of the budget, interest rates on houses would be 15 to 20%. I mean, if it's okay for you to take out a credit card with 25 to 30% interest, why do you think it's okay to get a house loan for 1%? How? No, thank you. Because understanding that if you have a house mortgage percentage with interest at 20%, your savings rate is 20%. So if you have $100,000 right now, you make $20,000 a year in the savings. Right now, you might make $4. Well, maybe a little bit more than that. What, a few $100s? The point remains the same. You do not want negative housing. You do not want low interest rates. The point of buying a house is not to take out a loan. We've all fallen victim. I did. The fortunate thing is I paid my note off. You know, so we can say this and that, but, you know, the truth remains, we're getting slaughtered by these low interest rates. You don't want, this isn't how it's supposed to be. We have no viable, listen, when you used to be a hard worker and you had 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand in the savings, God forbid a couple $100,000, and they paid you 20% interest, that's a part-time job that you don't have to go to. All because you're a hard worker. Then the lazy fuck somewhere said, you know what? This isn't fair. I don't have enough. Feed me. Give me a house. Give me free Medicaid. With what I do, I don't even have insurance, medical insurance. That's the road I chose. That's part of the life of being independent and not working for the general conglomerate. You forego, in most cases, health insurance. And in my part, I kind of got screwed because nobody in a sense wants to give me it because I broke my back when I was younger in a car accident, fucked up a lot of things. I've got my eye issues and things like that. I had a closed head injury. So they're like, we're not going to touch you. And if we do, it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. The way I haven't gone to a doctor in fucking 15 years. Anyhow, even when I had insurance. So, you know, I don't trust them. Let's see. Cat SY. I think I'm trying to be as clear as I can, Cat, for everybody. Because when the interest rates are so low, the artificial pricing of a house, and then you put the interest rates on top of it, when they offer you 2% interest rates on a house that you can't afford, and then down the line somewhere, you sell said house because you think you had a lot of money, and then they hyperinflate the price because the interest rate, it's working against each other. Now the pricing has to go higher because this is lower. If they just raise interest rates like they should, yes, the housing market would collapse like it should. The US dollar would correct to where it should. We are in la la land, even at 99. It is, now we're under 98. It's still la la land. And my expectation, this is going to keep happening. Tom, why don't you keep money in the bank? Well, the money in the bank, that would be in the bank, basically in my mining and emerging markets, but miners for the most part. Look at it. Why would I not have gold and silver? Why would I not have mining stocks? Look at this chart. This is gross. You want to look at a bad chart that has no hope? Oh my God. Look at that rising channel that's been going on since the financial crisis. You want to know why you don't do this with interest rates? Once the financial crisis happened in 08, interest rates went like this, and look at the US dollar. It went to die. We had an artificial 20 years, almost 18 years, where the rules didn't matter. Now, guess what? You, me, our kids, our grandkids, everybody is going to pay for this. The older generation's going, I'm 75 years old. In my house, I bought it for $25,000. It's worth $800,000. Thanks a lot. To the people of my own generation, thanks a lot for not learning shit. For my parents, congratulations. You literally handed us over on a silver platter. Why? Because we didn't want to ask the tough fucking question. Thank you. So now we got to do it on our own, okay? So when you're on your own, look at it this way. You never struggle until you think you're about to die. You never look for a cure until you think you've got 6 months to live. Look at it that way. So you've got 6 months in this financial market to make the right decision because you've already missed fucking all these years. So the dollar right now, if this plays out to its true drop, I'm serious. I think it's coming down in time. Oh, 77 is not where I think it's going. I think it's going to fall off this cliff. But in the short term, we're coming down to 95. We're almost there. And then we're coming down to 77. When we get to 77, you are all going to understand my message of precious metals and mining stocks. You're not going to be able to avoid it. I think some of you already can't avoid it because you've seen how big that portfolio is getting. And you can see what's going on with gold. Hell, I was preaching it to this audience when we sold XRP in 21. And all of our crypto, when we were about to hit that, well, we hit the top, but the right shoulder was about to go. Then we waited until sub 40 cents, so it's just been an abundant ride. But that's when we had this, you have to buy gold. It's at $1,600 in early 20. Please, I don't care what you do. Take those profits and buy gold and silver. I begged my audience, I don't even know for how long. Showed it, I did a series, silver stacking series, where I showed me buying gold and silver and the value of stacking silver when it's at the ratios. Even now at 93, it was just at 104 the other week, 2 weeks ago. And silver was sitting at $16, $16.50. And now silver is at 36.29, 36.31. And gold's at 33.82. While the US dollar, your purchasing power, in that same time span that you've been able to secure, not by Bitcoin, not by our XRP, your US dollar purchasing value has gone down by 11%, which means on every single $100 bill, or how about this? Every one of your dollars since, and this is where you got to pay attention, since Oh, nope, that's too far. Since December, let's just go with my birth. Since December 17th of 2024, you've lost basically 12% of your purchasing power, which means in December of 2024, your $1 bill from December, and this is hard, it's gonna be hard to swallow for some. December of 2024 on a $1 bill, that same $1 bill today, 6 months later, is worth 88 cents. 88 cents. 80 guys, do you know what that means? This $20 bill, this was worth $20. It's a unit of debt, that's another point. But this was worth $20 in December of last year. That's 12% less. That means this is only worth like $17.80 right now. Is it sinking in yet? But my gold, since this, just hear me out. My gold, since December of 2024, was at $2,500 an ounce. So US dollar's gone down by 12%. Gold is gone up by 33%, giving you a net gain of about 45% in purchasing power. Would you rather have the US dollar where you lost 12% or gold where you just gained 45% in purchasing power? The untold truth. It's the Did anybody say you can't hold crypto? Did anybody? No. But if you're having a true store of value, this is why it's a store of value. Oh yes, for some of you, this will be the highest you've seen silver for the fact that silver hasn't hit this price. You remember what we've been talking about. Where were we at before? The old financial collapse. We're above, in 2020. You have to go all the way back to the financial collapse in the 2008 time. At the end of it from, I think, where was the highest price? Was it 8 or 11? So we hit $50 in 2011 at the peak of that financial crisis that started in 08. Do you guys see that all-time cup and handle? Do you know how to measure this? And I told you it wouldn't be as interesting for the crypto side today, but it was going to be a life lesson today. Life lesson. And if you stuck it out, which 121 of you, I'm just telling you, if you just listen to what I'm saying today, your life is going to change forever. If you've been listening to me, I think you already feel it. This isn't the first time. That's how you get that $93. That is the technical target off of this cup and handle. I'm just telling you, the short target off the new formed handle, if it plays like this, gets you up to 55, which means you'll back test. I'm just telling you, this is going to be unbelievable. Legendary says, gold makes me feel a way when I hold it too. Unfortunately, I can't hold crypto. Exactly. That's another big thing. But you should have both. You need to have crypto, but you need to understand the economy. You need to understand the dollar. You need to understand. There's just so many things. Wales, Josie Wales, thank you so much for the $4.99 donation. And also being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So Bad said, I've always said gold and silver than crypto. Absolutely. I started that way, and then all my profits I would put into silver. Do you know why I've taken so much money off of the crypto exchanges? You guys all know. I invested heavier into mining stocks. I had about 7,000 when last year started in mining stocks. It's appreciated between purchases and things. And I have like $53,000 worth of mining stocks right now. Something like 27,000 or 30,000 in the profit. And that's been the buying, the selling, the buying, the selling. But there's no buying and selling after this last. I've told everybody I don't care what it does anymore. I'm going to collect the dividends and we're going to do this how we're supposed to, because that's a huge inverse head and shoulders that just broke out on the short term. And that's a massive cup and handle that I haven't personally been watching in real time because I wasn't born in 1980. I wasn't born until 83. But I've personally watched this chart for years develop and now round out. And oh my God, we're almost there. What did Wales say? Oh, yeah, Wales is absolutely right on that point. Do you think 1982 pennies will be worth more in time due to... Absolutely. But they're going to get rid of the penny. It costs 3 cents to make every penny now because there isn't nothing in it. It's nothing. What's a penny now? It's nothing. So they're going to eventually get rid of it. There's already a bill, but that's just the con job. That's how it starts. You get rid of the penny, you get rid of the 2 penny, the nickel, and then you get rid of the dime, then you get rid of the dollar or the 5. Remember, they got rid of the $2 bill for similar instance. They said, oh, well, the $2 bill, what's the point? That's just a way to take circulation away. They can't take away all the $2 bills. Nope. No, sir, they cannot. One, because I have some of them, so they can't take them all. And, I have my $2 bills that they're never gonna fucking get. See? These are my $2 bills that are behind a frame. They're never gonna get it. They won't get my $2 bills. I carry them with me. Only because I know that's a part of history that's soon gonna go away. Let's see. I missed the 2011 silver run, not this time. And honestly, you didn't miss anything. You know why? We're pre-silver run now. We are getting in to the unbelievable time in history. We lost our $10,000 bills and our... Yep. Didn't even get into all of that. So true. But do you guys see the all-time cup and handle? I am trying to lay you guys a fucking gem that's taken me a decade to uncover. And we're playing through it in real time. Or it's taken me a decade to live this part out. And a decade ago, I didn't even have the funds to do what I was doing. In 2018, I said, okay, I might only have $50 a week, but I'm going to do it. Then I figured out, and I got some big hits in the stock market. In Guinness, I put $3,500 down when they sent us that stupid check to everybody to keep us home. Not the monthly payout, because I refused it. They tried to send me, and I rejected it. Thank God. Because I didn't want their slave money. And I put their check they sent to everybody, what they call it, a stimulus or whatever. And I put it on Guinness. I think it was a $1,500 stimmy. I put it on Guinness. The son of a bitch ran 600%. It was the craziest. It went from $2.52 to like $12 and something in a week and a half. Old Vincenzo didn't want to buy it at first, but he had no choice at $6.50 or $7. My dad did, or at $5 he bought it. My dad didn't want to buy it, but he had to when it hit $5.50. Oh, it was a great time. That's when I went crazy though. I bought my first real ounce of gold, and I bought like 50 ounces of silver. Oh, it was glorious. It's glorious. And the rest is history. Look, I had a lot of losses after Guinness, and don't let that fool you. I had a streak. Guinness and Latham Airlines, I'll never forget. Latham Airlines, I hit like a 6-bagger, and then one day I said, oh, I know it all. I went into a call option. I put $150 on them. When I woke up, it was worth $3,000. I think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. Oh, I know what's going on here. I'm going to put all this money into their stock. Now, guess what happened? I got delisted. $1,500 or $2,000 worth. They gave me 20 cents on the dollar. Who's feeling proud after that? They're right. It was blood money because they sucked me in and sucked me dry. And they got all their money, for the most part, back. But these are life lessons you have to learn to proceed. That's okay. It's 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven? We've been on for 48 minutes. I haven't even got the crypto yet. If you want to be honest. How do I not get the crypto? Did we talk any crypto? I had to have talked. Oh, boy. Oh, shit. That is a weekly reversal that looks bad. Oh, we're in some trouble. I think we're in some trouble, possibly. Look at that weekly reversal. Oh, boy. Oh, the Fine Group wants to know about Bagelgate. So, was playing the futures options, and I was building up with Julie, and this occurred while I was XRP Future Millionaire, nonetheless. We had put all of our money into certain things. We had, at the time, it was pre-buy the house, but we were coming up, but We had to buy some stuff. We have a special needs son. So there's a lot of stuff. So we were kind of like cash. So we had a lot of good investments, but we were cash poor, to put it in perspective, like real cash poor. And we needed to come up with some funds. I think that was during what, down payment time and everything? Something, or somewhere around there, right? Or it was something. It was just in the recent past, let's just say. And I built up $500, or it was $250, turned it into 500 on futures, turned it into 1,000, put it all on a 10x bet. The bet was up like 150%. It was at like $1,800 to $2,500. So it was maybe a $700 it started with. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I'm up 10. It's a 10x trade. And right now I bought it for $700, let's say, and it was at like $2,100. Or maybe it was $518. Same difference. And I go to make a bagel and I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good. Volume's coming in. Well, something happened that I wasn't paying attention to when I was making my bagel. I don't remember what came out, but something detrimental came out for crypto. Something, I don't remember what it was, but it was right towards the beginning of the lawsuit with Rip. It was towards those times after the bull market, but it was going into the next, we were in a multi-year bear market. So, you're not trying to do too much stuff. So that was like money I'm thinking in my head, like, okay, I could take this, and there was something I needed, and I could have used it all. And I'm like, okay, everything's looking fine. Looks great. Well, I go to make the bagel, and I kid you not, by the time the bagel was done, I go to butter it, and my phone starts flashing, beeping. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Bitcoin down $10,000 in like three. Remember when Bitcoin dropped 10 grand in like the last 3 or 4? There was one moment in the past 3 years when it dropped like 10 grand in like a matter of like an hour or 15 minutes. It was down like 4 grand. Does everybody remember that? It might have been the 22. I don't remember. One of those recent past when it went down like $10,000 in a matter of like minutes, it felt like. XRP dropped 30% on that drop. We had a whole bunch of things just drop out the floor. Well, the time that I did that happened to be one of those catastrophic events, and I was riding the last coattail. And I went against my rule that I've now created after, so it wasn't even a rule then. But that's why I say when you get to 100%, you take your initial investment back. At worst, all you're losing is profit. If you're in a leverage trade, at worst. So, yeah, I buttered the bagel, did the bagel, my phone, I got liquidated. It was a $2,000 bagel that I threw in the garbage.
It was the most dramatic drop of the phone.
And I walked into our room and I looked at Julie and I go, I fucked it all up. And I hit the bed and I said, never fucking again. Never again. Well, I'll tell you this though, since that time, Julie, what's happened? That was like the thing that got my ass. Oh man.
We skyrocketed.
Yeah, oh yeah, we did. Like there's no simple terms. You heard her. I didn't say it. I learned a big mistake. That was like the end. That was like the end of my learning experience. And that's what I needed to propel me to the next step. Forget the short, easy money. Build into the lifetime gains. Only. Hey, I'm about to end this live too. Yeah, I'm gonna end this so I can say goodnight to him. So my son's about to fall asleep. I'm gonna end this here in a minute. So that I can go tell my son goodnight and help him go to sleep. I appreciate everybody. I know it was a lot to take in. If you like the way I was speaking today, you're really going to appreciate, what's coming. I'm not talking about the lack of crypto stuff, but this is not over yet. It's just, it's what I was fearing. Okay? The something's not right is playing out right now. You bought 216 shares of Ripple at $44. Quinto sells pre-IPO stocks, but the CEO was selling stocks to family cheaper, so they fired him and they were doing an internal investigation, so no stocks. You bought 216 shares, or how did you, 216 shares of Ripple? Oh yeah, it was a salted bagel, and it was a very salty one at that. Very fucking salty. I'm gonna look into that, Zachary. I'm gonna look into that, what you said. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna get to more stuff here in the very near future, I promise. I'm here every day. My son's off of school for the summer. He graduated preschool. He met all of their requirements to go into the regular class. 2 of his other classmates, thank God, are following him. He's got an IEP and stuff because he's special needs, but he's going into the regular classroom. So it was a great achievement that he met all of Clawson Public Schools in the state of Michigan's requirements. So I'm proud of him. Scarlett graduated 5th grade, which was the end of her elementary, because in Clawson you only go to 5th grade, and now she'll be in middle school next year. And I was super proud of Michaela because she finished her high school career, and she was an honor student. So she was, and she's good student, and she's going to Western for the honors program. So, everybody's moving on. Everybody's moving on. I don't know, man. Linquinto, I don't know, man, Zachary. You be very careful because, to my knowledge, there is no Ripple IPO right now. But I don't know, man. This Linquinto sounds like a lobster, because lobster would sell us stuff that we thought was one thing, and it was certainly not that one thing we thought we were buying, or what most people did. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. But ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. Where do you get your silver? Yes, pre-IPO. Well, that's why I said, Zachary, I'm gonna have to look into it. Yes, AUW. I have over 800 ounces of silver bars. Yes, I buy my silver from JM Bullion when I use US fiat, or when I use fiat. When I use crypto, I buy it from Scottsdale Mint. Beautiful bars they make, silver and gold. So no, I want to do the research, Zachary. I'm glad you told me, because if this is legit, and I don't have any reason to not trust you, you've been part of this audience for a long time, and I've never known you to lie and try to rip people off. So I'm going to take you at face value and do some real research on this tonight. I'm going to take a picture of this with my phone, because I've never known you to mislead this audience, and I think you're telling the truth. So I'm going to have to look deeper into this, because the pre-IPO is awesome. Because I honestly think you're telling the truth. So, but I can't say that I understand, because I don't understand it yet. So I believe you, because you've never, like I said, your character carries with you. And he's been in here for a very long time, and I've never known him to one time. Not one time have I ever seen him try to scam the audience or try to lead us in the wrong direction. So that's why you have to show integrity, because when somebody says something to me, if they've been around and I know who they are and I know they're not trying to deceive us, Now, like he just said, hoping it's all legal and legit, that's another story. We don't know. But I'm going to look it up. I'm going to come back with some information tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, for the sake of time, because I want to go get my son to sleep, because he's trying to go to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, the sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Sorry. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the fun. Oh, we're gonna crash, and we did, and we will, and we are, aren't we? And we can, and we will, and we won't, and we did, and we will, and we won't, and we may, and they say we do, and we won't, and we can, and it's the last time, but it isn't, and it won't, and it is, and it won't, and it will be, oh yeah. Stay true, stay blessed. Don't buy in to all the nonsense. Please pay attention to silver. S-I-L-V-E-R. What does it spell? Silver. The son's actually happy right now because he's riding on silver bars, baby. Oh, yeah. So stay true, stay blessed. Actually, this is Bitcoin's grave. eventually you're all going to see what we're talking about. Have a blast.